Hey, I figured it out. All right. That actually wasn't that difficult. Okay. So have you ever had a reading before? Let's start there.
It's been a long time.
Okay. All right. So just to go over some things. Um, so the way that I read is I see your angels, guides, loved ones in a semicircle, and they will step forward for messages for you. I am not in control of who or what comes in. With that being said, I'm not open to anything negative. So I'm not going to be telling you anything that's going to, induce anxiety or make you fearful and everything like that. Okay. I'm only going to tell you things that are positive. Um, I am going to give you messages from whoever is being the loudest, whether that's angels or loved ones, whoever it is that's coming through that wants to give messages.
All
You have
right.
an opportunity if there's something that you specifically, wanted guidance with on this session, or somebody wanted to try to connect with, we can certainly try to do that after we kind of get the messages that are like flowing in for you. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Typically, what I'll do is I'll pull three cards at the beginning just to kind of get things going. We're not really going to go over those cards. And then at the end, I'll pull cards again. And I will go over those because it's always cool to see how the cards match up to the messages that you got during your reading. Okay.
Okay. All
Kind of
right.
reiterates and hits back those like important messages that they really
Like,
take to heart. Okay.
okay.
And
Excuse
the
me.
deck I'm going to be using is a like an angel oracle deck. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, is there any questions that you had about the process?
Uh, no, no. Like I said, the one was, oh God, it might have been a couple years ago, and I think my grandma, my aunt had recently passed away. So yeah, it's been a
Okay.
bit.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So not surprised by these cards at all, given what I'm like the messages that I'm getting coming in for you. So
Okay.
the first thing that I'm being shown is blue hands. Which is indicative of that's my symbol from spirit of somebody who is a healer who does something like either a teacher or in the healthcare field. And they're showing me like a stethoscope or something. So do you do like nursing? Are you a doctor or something?
I'm a nurse.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And they're also saying, they're also showing me that you're an empath, but that's pretty common for people who are in like this, that service field of wanting to be a
Okay.
teacher or wanting to be in the healthcare field, because you naturally gravitate towards helping people and wanting to make people feel better and things like that, right?
Okay.
Um,
Yes.
so they're showing that to me. And a big reason they're showing that to me is because they are also showing me an image of scales, these giving and receiving scales, and your scale is off balance. Okay. So they're showing you like walking around tending everybody else's garden. Okay. And they're wanting you to, give yourself, the time and energy that you give to other people. And I know that's easier said than done, right?
Right. Right.
Um, but do you ever get any sort of like energy work done, or do you practice meditation or anything like that?
So, I don't know if I want to say energy work, but I just had like there's a girl who once a month does like a sound immersion, and that was last night.
Okay, okay.
So yeah,
All right. So yeah, that is energy work. So that's good. Your angels would like to see you do something more. So even if it's like, if you don't really have time to get like, do Reiki or sit down and meditate, I know meditation can be difficult, especially in, the hustle and bustle of life and all that. But journaling is a really good way to kind of like ground yourself and get those thoughts and stuff down.
okay.
Um, and so just kind of finding outlets to really just ground yourself and sort of balance out that energy. Your angels are also wanting you to, um, they are, okay, what do you, okay. So they're wanting me to bring up the law of attraction, right? So
Okay.
They're wanting you to know that like whatever thought, whatever you speak, whatever you think, like that's what's gonna, come to be, right? So if we're always speaking like negatively about ourselves, it's more likely that, negative things are gonna happen versus if we're focusing on gratitude and focusing
Oh,
on positive, okay?
yes.
And so a lot of times with life, um, we tend to focus on the next thing. Okay, yeah, I completed that task, but I want to be here and I'm here. And so like continuing to focus on that next thing, that next thing. And so they're saying that's okay. You want to be focused. You want to, set goals and set those intentions. But really like focusing on being more in the present moment and focusing on gratitude. So look how far I've come. Look at all that I've done. Look at where I am now in comparison to where I was. And
Okay.
just taking a minute or two each day to just, even if it's like 2 or 3 things that you have to be grateful for. It can be something small, like there was no line at McDonald's, or, somebody paid for my coffee, or it can be something big, like I got a promotion, whatever it is. Just trying to take it can even be a couple of seconds, 30 seconds, in the day to just focus on a couple of things that you have to be grateful for. Okay. Um, and in doing that, because they're showing me, like this spiraling, like kind of tornado of like spiraling thoughts and fears that kind of like creep in and like
Yeah.
you sort of like get immersed in that. Okay. And so by focusing on gratitude for a couple of seconds, a couple of times each day, you're kind of reprogramming your brain to help you during those moments where you are spiraling. Okay. Now, I'm
Okay.
not saying like it's not practical to walk around and just be like grateful and happy and oh my gosh, life is so great all the time. Okay. Um, like I suffer from anxiety, so I totally understand like the spiraling thoughts, the fearful thoughts, um, but what we really need to focus on is it's okay to acknowledge that oh, this crappy thing happened, or I'm afraid of the outcome of this situation or whatever. Like you can acknowledge that you have that fear, you can acknowledge that you have that anxiety.
Okay.
That's fine, but trying not to spiral about it. So acknowledging it, I'm fearful of this, and then asking, your angels are saying ask, ask. So asking like like help me navigate the situation, help to take some of this fear away. I know like a lot of times when I'm feeling like really worried about something, I'll say 3 times, like I give my worries to the angels, and I do feel a difference in
Okay.
how I feel. Okay.
Okay.
So, it's not like all my worries are completely gone and I'm like, yeah, 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 but like I feel much lighter after asking them to do that. Okay. So your
Okay.
angels want you to know that all you have to do is ask and they can help you.
The
Um,
hardest thing is to ask.
yes, yes. So, and then, they're also showing me, um, like a chain. Sorry, my dogs are playing with squeaky toys in the background. So if they're,
It's okay.
I apologize.
I can hear him, so it's
Okay,
okay.
that's good. Okay, so they're showing me like a change in direction, like a situation not like going the way that you thought it was going to go. Um,
Probably most recently, there's been a few things where I'm trying to get out of being on my feet all the time, trying to get a different job. And so I've applied to a couple things and, they're like, oh, we picked somebody else or thank you for, and I'm like, okay, that's the only thing I can recently
Okay,
think
okay, okay. So they're asking you for this particular situation. So going back to like setting those intentions. and the journaling. So write down on a piece of paper, what does my ideal job look like? What do I want to be doing? How much do I want to be making? What kind of schedule do I want? And setting those intentions, like this is what I want for myself, okay?
Okay.
And really believing that you are worthy of that and knowing that any door that does shut for you, any job interview you go to where they're like, I'm sorry we picked someone else, or whatever, that it's leading you to the right job instead of feeling discouraged, like,
I
wow,
didn't think of
God, I didn't get picked again. I'm never going to find anything. I'm going to be stuck doing this forever. And I know that's really it. They're in utopia. They're up there. It's grand. It's easy for them to stand on their soapbox and say this to you, but they're really asking you to just set those intentions, and be, um, have faith in yourself and have faith in the universe that everything happens in divine timing and that that right job is there for you and that you will get it. Okay. So those shut doors are not, don't try not to be discouraged by them. They are the path to get you to the right job. Okay.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I think that writing that down and setting those intentions very clearly for the universe will let them know, okay, this is the type of this is what she's looking for. Okay.
Okay.
It's also
Okay.
going to make it, they're showing me like an image of you. And I know you don't really look for jobs in newspapers anymore, but this is what they're saying. They're showing me an image of you looking at a newspaper, and just kind of like picking things, that seem like they would be a little bit easier, but being like concerned about money and like, kind of making decisions about the jobs that you're applying for based in fear. And they're asking you to apply for jobs, because that's what they feel good to you in your heart space, in your gut. This job feels good to me. Like I want to do this job. Okay. Not,
Okay.
this job. Sorry, my dog. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead. Um, so when you're making choices out of fear, like fear and anxiety, those are like the lowest vibration. And then when we kind of take those out of the equation and we make decisions with our heart space and our gut, then that's like that's a higher vibration. And it's going to
Okay.
help abundance to flow to you more easily. Okay.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
and again, I know that that's easier said than done, but when you like when you feel those fearful feelings kind of trying to take over, acknowledge them. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay. You're making a huge transition from something you've always known to something that's brand new. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's okay to be fearful. But we want to make sure we're not making a decision based in fear. Like when you look at this job and you look at this job description, does it fit what you see for yourself, what you want for yourself? Okay. And
Okay.
your angels are saying you deserve to be picky. You've worked hard. You've given, like you have, acted as a like servant to other people for many years, and you deserve to have the perfect job for you. Don't settle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so they really want you to know that. They're saying don't settle, don't settle. Okay. And feel in your heart, like you deserve this. You deserve this, they're saying think about all the time that you've spent giving to other people, helping other people. This is going back to that, balancing those scales and really giving back to you. Okay. So they're saying pick a job that gives back to you. Okay.
Okay.
Um, now, um, what is, I am getting someone coming through. This is a woman. This is, like something with breathing. Um,
Probably my aunt who had passed away. I think it was like breathing and pain.
Okay.
like before she passed.
Okay.
Oh,
Would this be on your mother's side?
yes.
Okay, because I'm getting maternal on like on mother's side. Um,
I mean, the only thing would be maybe my grandmother. I know that she had had a stroke and stuff like that, but I didn't think her breathing
okay.
it was more
Okay.
heart.
Yeah, no, this is like in here. Okay. Do snow globes have any significance to you?
My mom
Okay.
collects snow globes.
Okay. Because they're showing me snow globes. So has your mom passed away?
No.
Okay, but this was your okay. Okay. So let's see why they're okay. Okay, she's saying aunt. I'm aunt. I'm aunt.
Okay, that'd be probably Aunt.
Um,
Okay.
okay.
Because we always called her Aunt, but she was really like our cousin, but she's like my mom's age. So,
Okay. Yeah, because
yeah.
when you said grandmother, that's not resonating with me. Like this is not somebody who's like, yeah, giving me grandma vibes. She doesn't look like a grandma. And she's shaking her head like no, and shaking her head yes when you're saying aunt. But she's showing me snow globes. I guess is just like wanting you to know like, hey, this is me. This is like a something that sort of verifies like, hey, I know this is something that's special to your
Okay.
family. Okay. Um, is there anything that you wanted to ask her?
I guess, you know, I don't think so. Maybe just to make sure she's okay. I know that she went very quickly, towards the end. I'm sorry I couldn't have been back with, because I was there and then left and then, is that everybody lives in Ohio and I'm down here in Maryland. That's
Okay.
where the majority of the family is.
Okay, so she's telling you she wants you to know like send away any guilt that you may have about like not being able to be there in the way that you wanted to be, okay? She's saying like I know how you felt about me. I feel the same way about you. She's saying I love you and like sending kisses in the sky. And she's saying like, please send away because she's showing me just like this little bit of guilt that you're kind of like carrying with you about, like feeling like wishing that you could have been closer, that you could have been there more, in the end. And she's saying like, she wants you to send that guilt away. She says, there's no reason for you to feel guilty. She says, I don't have any sort of, feelings about like towards you about that. Okay. She's saying you did the best you could for the distance that was the geographic distance that was
Yeah.
between you guys and everything that was going on in your life. Okay. So she's saying like, I know that you cared and I know that if you could have been there, you would have been there. And please let go of any guilt that you're feeling about that. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and okay. Um, did she give your mom a snow globe? She is like bringing the snow.
She may have, like, because my mom had some for a while, so maybe between the two of them, they did do,
Okay.
a lot with the snow, but she would go to her daughters in Arizona in the winter and then come back to Ohio in the summer. So maybe it was like that, like I guess you would call them snowbirds when people would go to Florida during the winter and
Yeah, and then come
that
back.
makes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Um, she's specifically showing me a snow globe, but this is your mom, so I don't know why she's like so wanting to keep bringing this up. So, okay,
Okay.
okay. Um, oh, and I do want to say, because we had brought up your mom and I had asked about, if she was still alive or not. I can pick up on energies of people that are still living. So if
Okay.
I bring someone up, does not mean something's going to happen to them. Okay. Just
Okay.
wanted you to know that. I don't want you to get off, out of this and be worried about your mom.
Okay.
She's okay.
Okay.
Um, um, so let's see. Is there anything else that you wanted to tell her, ask her while she's here with us?
Um, no, I just, glad that, I need to let go of that guilt. Miss her terribly. I know that the rest of the family does. And, we love her. I just, wish she should still be here. but it's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, did you guys talk on the phone a lot?
Not very often. We talked a bit, but I think she tried talking to my mom. I think most of the time I talked to her was on the phone because she would be back and forth. And like I said, I'm down here and she's up there and trying to catch.
Okay, 'cause yeah, she's showing me like an image of the two of you on the phone, like chit-chatting, smiling. Um, and okay. Um, she's also showing me, these are not, what kind of flower is that? Um, I want to say a lily, but it's not a lily. It's, that one, it's like, I'm not good with flowers. And, um,
Carnation?
no, she's showing it to me. Tell me what flower it is, because I can't get it. I can't remember the name of it right now. Um, it's long, it comes up, it usually has like one or two flowers on it. They live inside. They're very hard to take care of.
Uh, Not succulents. Well, I have the blackest thumb in the world, so I'm probably not the person that has that. I
Yeah,
have fake flowers on my.
I'm not, I'm not a great person with flowers either. I have one house plant that I've managed to keep alive somehow. Um, but okay. All right, let's move on from that. Let's see. Okay, let's see if there's anybody else who's coming through. Um, okay. I have someone coming through. This is a male, in the military. Um,
So let's see, my grandfather was in World War II. My dad, he was like reserves for Marines, and he would be he passed away before my aunt did.
okay. Yeah, this was definitely, yeah, like not recently in the military. This is definitely like an older military outfit that they're presenting themselves with. Um, and a lot of various like medals and um ribbons and things like that. And a lot of pride over being able to serve in the military. Um, and okay. Um, Showing me also an image of holding a little girl's hand and walking into a um like a corner store, kind of like an old school sort of like pop shop, where you could buy like little penny candies, cola, um,
Yeah.
things like that. And kind of reminiscing on that time. And um, okay. Specifically, the one candy that they're showing me, the wrapper is yellow and red. Um, is any of this kind of resonating with you at all? Um,
Unless I was really, really young, because I think we used to go different places with my grandparents.
okay. Um,
Red. I'm trying to think.
let's see if I can. Bit-o-honeys.
Beto honeys. Oh my gosh, that almost came to my mind too. I think my well, maybe Grandpa did like those, but my dad, I think those and the peanut butter things for Halloween thingies he liked too.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Um, okay. And I'm also getting someone who, um, okay. Um, a sudden, like a heart attack. This was a male, like a heart attack or like an aneurysm or something that was like very sudden. They're showing themselves like sitting in like almost like a lazy boy chair. Um, and like this was like a sudden thing, unexpected. They're saying unexpected.
So that would, the only thing I could think of that would be my mom's brother. He had a heart attack and in fact didn't want to go to the emergency room and his daughter made him and then he was like on a ventilator for a couple weeks and then everything just shut down.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, did he spend a lot of time in a lazy boy chair? He's like referencing this chair.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, Uncle Ron always seemed to be in the lazy boy chair watching TV when we go and visit my grandparents, because he lived with my grandparents because he was legally blind.
Okay. Okay. Um, all right. Is there anything that you wanted to say to anybody that's kind of coming through for us right now? Or is there anyone that it hasn't come through that you wanted to try to connect with?
Well, the only thing probably with my Uncle Ron is I don't know if I could say I forgive him for what happened when we were kids. Um,
He's saying, so he wants you to say, he's saying before you go any farther, he's saying, um, you don't, he said, don't forgive me for me, forgive me for you. So he's saying, I don't need you to, okay. He's saying that he doesn't want you to hold on to this anymore. Okay. That it's hurting you ultimately. Okay. Um,
yeah,
and so, he is first saying, I'm sorry, but he's wanting you to know that, you don't feel obligated because I'm gone to forgive me, is what he wants you to know. Okay.
yeah. It's hard. It's like, do I forgive him? Do I not?
But he's saying again, that guilt, that guilt that you're feeling, let go of that. Okay. Let go of that. And it's so easy for them to tell people, us, to let go of guilt, really, like it is because
Yeah.
everything is great and wonderful. But ultimately, holding on to that is hurting you. And that's what he wants to see you that's why he wants to see you let go of it. Okay. Not because he feels like he's owed forgiveness um, or anything like that. He's saying, um, forgive me when you're ready, but he just doesn't want to see you continue to hold on to hold on to guilt or hold on to anger, um, over what happened. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and he's saying, I'm sorry I made you feel unsafe, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and, um, okay. Uh, okay. And there's like this scared, he's showing me an image of just like this scared little girl that you're kind of like holding on to. Okay. Um, and he's he's like, what are you showing me? Okay. Um, I think the biggest takeaway here though is like, he doesn't want you to feel obligated to forgive him. Okay. Don't forgive him because you feel guilty like you should.
Okay.
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 If you do it because that's what's best for you to let go of that, to release that, to not hold that in anymore, to not hold those feelings inside anymore. Okay.
Okay.
Not because not for anybody but you. It's going back to kind of what we were talking about before of like you're stepping into the season of doing what is best for you. You've spent all this time worrying about everybody else and watering everybody else's garden, and now it's time that you're going to water yours. So anything that you choose to do going forward is going to be because it's what's best for you and not anybody else. Okay?
Okay.
Um, and so it's all going back to that. And that makes perfect sense as to why he would come through then in this reading, because that seems to be the biggest thing that your angels really want you to take away from this,
Okay.
together. Okay. Um, is there anything else you wanted to ask anybody who's come through, or anything else that you wanted, like any sort of guidance on or anything like that?
Um, no, not with anyone's come through. I was kind of hoping my dad, um,
Okay.
because I feel really well. There was things going on with me at the time that he was actually at the worst of his sickness, that I couldn't get back home because I couldn't even get out of the house or anything. So,
Okay. Okay.
but that he's okay, and I know I know he's okay. He's not suffering. So
Yeah. How long ago did he pass?
it would be, uh, it should be December 31st, 2019.
Okay, all right. It's been more than 6 months then. I just want to make sure it's been
Yeah.
6 months. Okay, all right. Let's see if we can pull him forward. Um, okay.
Yeah, because I don't think it was 2020 yet. It was the start of the pandemic.
Um, okay. Um, so the first thing that I'm being shown is this feeling that you have toward like during the end of his life of like feeling helpless and feeling like you were trapped. Um like not what are you showing me? Feeling helpless. And he's like showing me an image of you feeling like um you're being like pushed down. I don't know what he's trying to show me. Okay. Um,
Like,
did he wear a lot of flannel shirts, button down flannel?
yeah, yeah.
He's presenting himself in a flannel shirt. He has like a very like calming presence about him. Um, and he's okay. He's hard to connect with amongst the chatter of the other people
Yeah.
that are here.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, he's being just a little bit more quiet.
Okay.
Um, okay. Is there something specific you wanted to ask him so that we can kind of try to bring him forward by
No,
asking
I just want to
him?
just make sure he's okay. And, like I said, I know he's in a better place because he's not suffering. Um, but I just wish I could have been there. I couldn't even, like I said, I couldn't get out of the house. I had issues going on with my hip that we didn't even know the extent of it out.
Okay, so maybe that's why
Yeah.
he's showing me the image of you feeling like you couldn't get up, being pushed down, feeling helpless, being pushed down. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So he is definitely in a better place. Okay. He's standing here with all of your loved ones and all of your angels, and they're holding hands, they're united. And he's wanting you to know, he's saying, that it's beautiful here. Like it's love, it's all love. And he's saying it's kind of like when we walk down the street, here on earth, as you know, on this plane, it's sort of like you see a stranger, they're just a stranger, great, cool, you're indifferent about them. You don't really care about them either way. But there, it's kind of like everything is love. Like everyone loves everyone. Like you love the stranger. You just love. He's saying, there's just so much love radiating around him. And he's saying, and I'm sending that love to you. I'm sending that love to you now, while you're on this journey of kind of rediscovering who you are and where you want to be in this next chapter. Okay.
Okay.
Saying you're not alone. He wants you to know that, um, that if you, there have been instances where you have felt him, or uh you have heard him, or there's been something that's happened that's reminded you of him. Um, and he's saying when that happens, he's saying that was me, that was me. Because a lot of times our brain wants to have that, like wants to say, oh no, I need verification that that sign. I need a sign about that sign. He's saying that was me. And he's saying that, and um, the more that you like embrace, okay, that was, you were in that moment and you heard that song, or you felt that, however you felt or whatever, and you thought of your dad, the more that you acknowledge, like, okay, that was a sign from him, the easier it's going to be for him to continue to send you signs. Okay.
Okay.
Because you're opening yourself up to that, rather than letting your ego get in the way and sort of explain it away, like, because we all want to, our brain wants things that like make sense and are like logical. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
so, and he's saying, like, don't beat yourself up for allowing your brain to do that, but he just wants you to know, like, in those moments, like, that was me, that was me. Okay. And he's saying it like very excited, like, that was me. And you're gonna get lots more visits from me, he says, lots more visits from me. And he wants you to know that he said, there's no time or space where I am. So I can be with you. I can be with mom. I can be with everybody all the time.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so I'm not taking away from one person by being with another. He's like, I can be everywhere all at once. There's no time or space here like there is for you, where you can only be at one place, at a time.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and he's also asking you, he's saying, there is this box, so to speak, this metaphorical box that you have tucked away, and it has all of this guilt in it. Not just about not just about his passing, but about um people that you had, like, you felt like you couldn't help, like during your career, other people that you've lost. There's like all this kind of guilt that you have like kept and tucked away in this little box. And he's kind of like showing me an image of like pulling that open and pushing all of that out. And he's saying there's no space for that. Okay. He's saying you always have done the best that you could do, and you always have given 100% to the people that you love. Okay. And so he's saying there's no room for that guilt. He wants you to take all of that guilt and push it out and start feeding your heart and your mind um, things that are centered in love. Okay, so, no, I couldn't save that person, but I did everything that I could to save that person. Or, look at all the people that I did save. Look at all the people that I did help. Um, you know, and focusing on, again, going back to like focusing on the positive and being grateful, and really focusing on like the impact that you have made on other people, the positive impact that you've made on other people, and how much you have enriched the lives of people in your family, people, your friends, and even people that you don't even know, by the career that you've had and just your loving, caring personality. Okay.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of, he's saying there's a lot of like, beating yourself up and feeling like you're not good enough and there's more that you can do. And so he's saying, um, you know, your he says, I wish that you could see yourself the way that I see you, is what he wants you to know. Okay. And he's saying like just so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And he's showing me an image of like this big, beautiful butterfly. And um he's just saying like have faith, believe in yourself. And this next chapter that you're going to be walking into is really like this self-love chapter. Your garden is going to be, you're still gonna, I mean, helping people is who you are. So you're still gonna be watering people's gardens. But when we look over at your garden in a year from now, there's gonna be like big, beautiful flowers instead of like, little weeds or whatever that you um are allowing to grow right now. Okay.
Oh,
So he's saying in a year you're going to look back and things are going to be so much different. That job is coming. These, there's so many big, beautiful things that are coming for you. Okay. You just, um, have faith in divine timing, have faith in the angels to provide. And most of all, the biggest thing is knowing that you are worthy and that you worked for these things and you deserve these things. Okay. Um, and so he just really wants you to know, like, you're worthy is what he's saying. Okay. So let's pull the cards and see what they say. Is there anything you wanted to ask Dad while he was here?
no, I'm just glad that I know he's in a better place. I'm glad to reinforce that. Yes, he is. And, he knows that, he should know that we all miss him very much. And
He's
yeah.
he's singing You Are My Sunshine right now.
Oh,
For you. So he's singing the song You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine. So um and he's just sending you love, he's saying. Okay. Um and then let's see what the cards have to say. Okay. Okay. Um So the first card that you got is there's nothing to worry about, okay? So this card has been sent to really try to ease your fears and anxieties that you've been having about making this job transition, about sort of these thoughts that you've just had about like, where do I go from here, right? Like, what is my next step? What am I going to be doing? And so your angels are just wanting to reiterate to you that like you're safe, that this situation is under their guidance, and that you don't need to worry, okay?
okay.
Um, the next thing is fresh air. So this card is what we had kind of talked about earlier about doing some things to really help to like ground you and center you and balance those scales a little bit more, spending time outside, journaling, focusing on gratitude, those types of things. Okay. The next card that they had me pull is this Cupid card. Um, and so this is all about um, so the card itself says, we send great waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for life. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy love has triggered this reawakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all of its glorious aspects. So this card is reiterating to you that self-love stuff that we talked about. And how you're stepping into this reawakening, this next stage in your life, where it's going to be more centered around you and what makes you happy and bringing you joy and really balancing those scales because you've given so much to so many people for so long. Okay. Um, and then the next thing is, what do you desire? Okay, so this goes back to what we talked about of writing down, making those clear intentions, writing down that ideal job, not settling for anything, not making decisions based in fear, but rather what feels good to your heart space and what feels good to your gut and what you really ultimately want for yourself. Um, And so the card itself says you now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desires and know that you're ready and deserving of them, they'll rush into your life as if by magic. Okay? So this also is saying that thing we're talking about understanding that you're deserving of what's coming to you. Okay? And then the last one is steady progress. So this is remembering how far you've come, focusing on how far you come rather than how far you have to go. Um, and then also knowing that everything kind of happens in divine timing, and try not to get discouraged when doors shut, because a shut door is really just leading you down the path to get you to the right door. Okay? And it isn't because you're not worthy or because you didn't deserve that job or because someone's better than you. It's because that job wasn't good enough for you. That wasn't the right job for you. Okay?
Okay.
Um, so yeah, that's it. Did you have anything else that you wanted to ask or anything before we
No,
okay.
no. Good. Yeah.
All right. Um, well, I hope that I was able to answer some, questions and give you some guidance.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that you think of, feel free to message me. And I appreciate you letting me read for you. Okay.
Thank you. This is
You're
very
welcome.
eye-opening, as you said, and a lot of things I need to do, but
Yeah.
it's good to know that I am going in the right
Oh yeah, you're
direction.
going in the right
Just,
direction. You are. And yeah, the biggest takeaway is just really that self-love thing and just, knowing that you're worthy and that a no just means that that particular thing wasn't for you. There's something better. Okay?
yeah.
So, all right, well, you have a great night, and like I said, if you think of anything, you feel free to message me, okay?
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you,
Thank
Alexis.
you. All right.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Bye bye. You
Bye.
too.